A cry has risen in the land, though few have heeded it. The courts of justice lie severed, and the mighty walk untouched. The list is hidden, the victims forgotten. The silence grows bold. Who will speak? Who will stand?
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very special pre-launch of Isaiah LXX. Now, I know we're still a few weeks away from the official launching of this channel, but there has been something weighing heavily on me, and there's some things that just simply cannot wait. Because when the Lord tells me to speak, I will. Right now, we are facing very questionable things from our transparent administration. Now, according to the government's own website, there is no list, which makes zero sense, as what was his assistant even convicted of if there were no clients? With that being said, many are speculating as to why the government would hide this list. One very popular theory, outside of the unknown encouraging political proponents to accuse the other side of being on it, is that the exposure of the people could create a global economic and political collapse. That's a very valid point. And while it is a concern, and I'm not unsympathetic to it, we are facing a much bigger problem if we don't. I believe we are being tested. As Christians, as humans, as a species in general. Are we willing to exchange justice for comfort? Here's the thing. We've suspected for decades the abuse of the elites. But never before have we had the opportunity to expose it to this degree. But the question is, are we willing to? In my personal opinion, if we do not release this information and prosecute the offenders, then we are just as guilty as they are. We may not have done the act, but we've denied the victims justice. Not only that, but we are now sending them the message that we have acknowledged and accepted that they are above the laws that we have agreed to be governed by. We might as well start picking our own shackles, because this will only embolden them. Before, they at least had the common courtesy to deny it. But now, they could do it on live TV, and we won't do a thing about it. Why? Because we're too comfortable, and we're too scared. Now, I know this won't be easy. Should the worst happen and our economy collapse, life will get hard. But we can, and we will endure. People ask me why I believe in God, and this is a perfect example of it. When asked what do I think will happen if it's released, I tell them, I don't think anything will happen to them, legally, because our governments are too scared to do the right thing. But at least these people will finally be known. Their reputations will be ruined, and every movement will avoid them like the plague. While not an official recourse, the court of public opinion still carries some major weight. So while they may escape legal recourse, they will not escape the court of public opinion. And most of all, they will not escape God's judgment. Even if we don't stand up and release this list, God's still going to hold them to account. But also, God will hold us to account as well, because we allowed our government to hide these people and allow them to escape. Now, I'm not telling you what to do. And we live in a very fractured and divided culture these days. But I would encourage every one of us, left, right, middle, to demand this release. Because if we don't, and we fail this test, I shudder what the future is going to hold. Let him who has ears to hear, let us all hear.